All right. It's being recorded. All right, so today is going to go kind of quickly because I am going to give you some study time at the end. But I do want to let you know of some of the new things that I've implemented. So first thing is, from now on, I'm always going to have daily objectives, not just up on the board, but also within our Schoology on the day. So let's say you're absent, you'll be able to know actually what the objectives were, or if you are virtual, it'll be the same thing. So what are we doing today? We're going to ignore that. So our content objectives is to utilize, and I realize that I misspelled that, newly acquired knowledge of bias, logical reasoning, and logical fallacies to analyze a discussion, and to practice good study and work habits by managing student independent work time effectively. So that's our goals, right? But the actual activities we're going to be doing today is I'm going to provide you information on the weekly homework updates. We're going to recap bias, logical reasoning, and logical fallacies, and we're going to do an assignment walkthrough. And then I'm going to provide the student independent work time. So that means I'm just going to let you go and you're going to be doing your work. I prefer that you do your English work, and then if you're done with your English work, then you can go ahead and work on some of your other stuff, because I know that during this time there's a lot of stuff you guys have to get done, okay? So is there any questions on that?
No, ma'am.
All right. So let's talk about the updates. So one of your peers in first period brought something to my attention that there's a lot of assignments and it's kind of hard to remember what you guys have to do. So every Thursday, and this Thursday is going to have a lot because I'm letting you turn in anything from the beginning of the year. This will be the last day. So every Thursday, I'm going to provide an assignments due by Friday update. And this is what it's going to look like. So by tonight, by 11:59 p.m., you need to do your digital locker. You'll find that in week of August 17th, day 2. The context clues practice, week of August 24th, day 3. The 3 little pigs identifying bias and reliability. That's the week of August 31st. That's in day 2, but the actual assignment is in your OneNote notebook. And I'll show you that stuff again. The bias is in the real world. You need to do your short story. That's the week of August 31st, day 3. The discussion board for a frank and honest discussion with teachers, that's the week of September 8th, that's this week, day 2. And the 2 Nearpods. And the second Nearpod on logical fallacies should be easy because of why? Why should it be easy? Because I gave you the answers. All right, and then also your Unit 2 vocabulary, but I don't want all the vocabulary. I just want the sections of literary devices, fallacies, reasoning, evidence, and inferencing. And again, that's in your OneNote notebook. Is there any questions on that? Pretty simple. Does that sound fair? Remind you every week? Yes. All right. Okay, and you're going to have time to work on that this afternoon. So with that in mind, we're going to do a recap real quick. So what is a bias?
Something that influences a decision or
Yeah, and what influences it? What causes us to have biases? Huh? Stereotypes are things that have happened to us in the past, right? So stereotypes are a type of bias. Is racism bias?
Yes.
But is all biases racist? No. Think about bias as racism as bias with a little bit of hate thrown in. All right. So bias is on a spectrum. What are some of the different categories for bias? What hand is this? Left.
Oh.
Left, right.
right and
Middle.
And center. Yes. So that's on ideologies, which is the left is liberal or conservative?
Conservative.
Liberal for the left. Right is conservative. And then if they're in the center, they have a little bit of both, right?
Fine.
So politically, if I'm on the left and liberal, what do they categorize me?
Republican.
No.
Democrat.
Democrat. The other side would be Republican, and if I'm in the middle, I'm a
liberal.
moderate.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but in the real world, is everybody always extremes? No. Most people are towards the center. All right. So we have biases. Those are our opinions, and then we have logical reasoning. What makes that different from a bias or an opinion? What do I have that supports that?
Facts.
Facts, evidence, yes. So there's 2 types of logical reasoning. What are they? Inductive and deductive. Inductive, I start with specific evidence, right? And then I come to my conclusion, right? What are some of those types of evidence?
These quotes, no,
No.
nope.
Inductive and deductive?
Okay, but what kind of evidence is for inductive?
Oh, inductive
Stories.
is exact.
Exact stuff. So facts, statistics, and personal observations. Why personal?
Because other people can get facts wrong or twisted. If you
Yes.
have personally witnessed it, it's
Yes. So if you saw it, then you can state the facts. And then we have deductive. Okay, so deductive, we start with a general conclusion, and then we find evidence to support that, correct?
Yes.
One of the ways we do that is through what? It starts with an I.
Inferencing.
Inferencing, yes. So when we take the clues that the author or the people give us, and then we come to those conclusions, right? So what are two of the evidence types that we can use for that? You said it a minute ago.
Facts and statistics.
The other one. You pull it directly from the source. Starts with a Q.
Quotes.
Quotes, yes, quotes. And am I just gonna drop quotes in and not give any credit?
No.
No, I'm always gonna cite my credit, right? So quotes and scenarios. So both inductive and deductive reasonings help me understand text better. They also help me formulate arguments. But if your argument has some issues with it or some errors, what do we call that? Logical fallacies. Yesterday we went over 11 or 12 of them. What was the most commonly used one? It shows up in commercials, reviews.
Cherry picking.
Cherry picking. And what do I do when I'm cherry picking?
You just pick the one that fits you the best.
Exactly. You just take the evidence that fits me the best. I kind of like pick and choose what I want. You guys remember any of the other ones?
Bandwagon.
Back when, what was that one?
red herring.
Bandwagon is when you just go with it because it's popular.
Yeah, that's a popular one. You said red herring, when that smells fishy because what's wrong?
Because the facts aren't true, or like they're not complete, or it's just not
Yeah.
backed up.
Yeah, and it's, you kind of swim in a different direction, right? So you're going in a different direction, and then you said hasty generalization. And that's when what is that? What's a form of that? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Stereotypes and biases are hasty generalizations. Okay, so awesome. The reason we kind of wanted to recap that is because your assignment that's going to be due on Monday by 11:59. I might change the due date though, but for right now, we're going to go ahead and say that it's 11:59 on Monday. It's going to be in your OneNote. So I'm going to show you how to get to your OneNote again because some of you guys were having some issues. So, all right. So you go down here to your OneNote. Let me make this a little smaller so people can see it a little bit better. Okay, so you're gonna go sign in. Remember, if you're having trouble signing in or ask you for anything, it is your Schoology information. Yours is gonna ask you if you wanna open it online or in the app. Always choose the online, but since I'm a teacher, it's taking me through these. So again, when you open yours, are you gonna see everybody's name or just your name? Just your name. So we're gonna go ahead and use Mr. Chris Brown right here. You click on your name. There's class notes and practices. So again, in class notes, this is where you're gonna find your vocabulary that you need to complete. Remember that you're only doing certain sections. And then to enter your information, you just use the draw. You click draw, click that, and then double click, and you can have the text box and move it around. So that does need to be complete by tonight. Go to draw. Then you click this icon right here where it says select objects or type tool. Make sure it's clicked, and then you just double click. And you can move it around, change the font, all that stuff. Yeah, nifty, huh? All right, so again, under the vocabulary, we're only doing the 3 sections. So make sure you only do those 3 sections that I told you about earlier. Now, from before, you still need to turn in identifying bias and reliability. That's with the 3 pigs. You need to do your annotations, and I specifically tell you what to do. But today's assignment that you're going to turn in on Monday is applying what you have learned. So I've taught you these things like logical reasoning and fallacies, but it wouldn't do any good if I just taught it to you and moved on, right? You have to put it into practice. So for example, when Ms. Garcia was a teenager, my father taught me how to change a tire, but then I never had to change a tire ever again in my life. Right? So has that helped me?
No.
Because I sure can't change it now, right? Because I never practiced it. So I'm always going to ask you guys to practice things. So with that in mind, you're gonna go back to the discussion that had the 4 teachers. Do you remember which teachers they were?
You, Miss Penny Boo,
Mm-hmm.
Coach Johnson, and I forgot.
Yeah. So yes, it's me, Miss Pena Bowie, Coach Johnson, and Miss Espada. Okay. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna use the video, a frank and honest discussion with teachers, and answer the questions below. So these are gonna be mostly opinions or inferencing on your part. So what do you have to do to convince me? You're gonna persuade me with what? Facts. Yes, you're gonna persuade me with facts. Substantiated fact. Yes, yes, yes. So thinking about each of the teachers, just select one and explain one bias you believe that teacher might possess. Explain why you think they might hold that bias, okay? All I ask is that you be respectful, because they would be respectful to you, so be respectful to us. Don't be crazy. Based on the discussion, select one teacher and make a prediction on what side they fall on the bias spectrum, left, center, right. Support your prediction with specific evidence from the video. Number 3, select one of the teachers from the discussion and develop one inference about the teacher. Provide specific support for your inference. And then number 4, think about inductive reasoning. Explain one instance where you used inductive reasoning to create a general conclusion about one or more of the teachers. Provide evidential support. And then number 5, locate and explain a logical fallacy presented in the discussion. Who utilized the fallacy? Which fallacy was it? And how did it undermine their premise? Now remember, when there's fallacies in your argument, sometimes they're not intentional. And in reality, we weren't debating. We were just having a discussion. So we probably will have some fallacies in there because it was just a general discussion. Okay, so just select one instance and then support it, okay? Is there any questions about that?
No.
All right, so some people were having problems getting to or seeing the discussion again. So what I did is I went ahead and I put the link in the folder for you, so it's there. Now I'm also going to give you a little FYI, but you have to be nice to me. Don't leave hateful comments. So it's here. But if you ever can't see one of my videos, or you're having trouble, or you missed it, Ms. Garcia has her own page where I put everything. Again, be nice to me. So these are all my videos. I have lots of them there, even from years past. So you can always go to my page on YouTube and you can find the videos that I've done. I'm about to be. Let me just tell you. No, no. Yeah. So I only have 5 because I've never told anybody about it. So oh, thank you. It's mostly teachers that look at it, but this is just for you guys, just in case you're at home and you can't find the video you're looking for. Just go to my page and it'll be there.
Which is why I'm subscribing.
Okay. So, any questions?
How many people do you think
I didn't think anybody would, to be honest with you. So, all right, guys. Well, if there's no other questions, now it's going to be the student independent work time. Go ahead and work on anything you need. If you need a hard copy of any of the documents, let me know, and I will get that done for you. Yes.
They right now, and they'll use the